Hello all. I am using this voice audio app to read out what I've written regarding the Forfar transmitter mast, based in the Angus countryside in Scotland, nearby the city of Dundee. I'm using this voice app because I can't be bothered reading it out myself at the moment, and it saves me heaps of time. It's easier to hear it being read out, than to be asked reading it all. Here is some of my footage I taken of the Forfar transmitter mast, which could be seen across Scottish Angus countryside for miles, and clearly seen from the summit of Dundee Law, at night, when it's all lit up with its red navigational lights. The Forfar transmitter mast is situated just off the B978 road between Dundee and Forfar, and few miles east of its neighbouring Angus transmitter mast, which is in the Sidlaw Hill range. The Forfar TV transmitter mast was built in 1964 and the structure is about 150 metres high. I reckon the mast beams out powerful microwave energy across the Scottish countryside, for it to be received by other amplification masts, in order to transmit the signals over long distances. The other masts being like stepping stones in a way, for the signals to cross over long distances. High grounds will be the best selections for these tall masts, to be built on. This will be to get the highest point of the mast, up as far above the lower ground as possible, for the signals to get least obstructions, by lower grounds and other obstacles. The higher the mast is, the better for transmitting over long distances, and fewest number of masts required. I remember science physics at high school. It was one of my strongest subjects, as was sports. Remembering back to science, I will try and give my example about the principle of the masts requiring high grounds. Imagine you had a torch. A torch gives out electromagnetic radiation in the form of light. Well, the higher you shine it, the further out it will be seen. Because if it's high up, lower obstacles below will not obstruct the beam of light as much, and therefore will be seen further. It's the same principle with transmitter masts. They give out electromagnetic radiation in the form of microwave energy, in which the signals will be sent by. The main transmitter mast structure will have a few different antennas on it, for other signals at different frequencies. Possibly different telecommunications companies will share the same mast structure, to put their antennas on. Because the structure is so tall, it has to be lit up constantly with red navigational lights to warn low-flying aircrafts of its presence, in all weather conditions and in the dark. A few weeks prior to me making this video, I noticed a strange anomaly regarding this mast's navigational lights. In the next clip after this section, you will see my video I made regarding this. Also in the description to this video, are a couple of links to my other videos I made, regarding its neighbouring, Angus transmitter mast, which will include footage I taken, right next to it, during the small hours of the morning, when it was pitch dark, to show what it looks like close by it, all lit up.
And that was in my in-car series, episode 1, I think it was. It was in one of my early in-car series, the one with the mast all lit up in the small hours.
Up. The Forfar transmitter mast should be lit up the same as the Angus one. Anyway, after this part is finished you will see the strange anomaly regarding the mast navigational lights.
So what's quite odd is I just noticed that they've got red lights on the monument on the top of the Law Hill. I don't know when they did that, but certainly never used to. So never had any navigational lights on the monument on the Law Hill. The only navigational light was on the mast, the radio mast. I investigated it. Wormit Bay, over in Fife, looking over towards the Dundee Law. There's the monument anyway, what you can see of it. Clearly there's no lights on it. You can see the lights on the transmitter, the radio transmitter on the top of Dundee Law. Now, from the viewpoint, I was over in Fife at Wormit Bay, looking over towards Dundee Law, and it appeared there was two red navigational lights on the Dundee Law monument. Now, upon investigation, I've came up and had a look. There aren't. However, behind it, looking over towards the Craigable Hills, there is the TV transmitter mast, several miles away from it, that made it appear that these red lights were on the Dundee Law Monument. It was in fact an optical illusion. And going up to the summit of Dundee Law, looking over towards the north boundary of Dundee, Craigable Hill, Sidlaw Hill range, I could see now, well, you could see now, the 5 navigational lights on the radio transmitter, the TV transmitter, the Angus transmitter mast. That's the Angus transmitter mast. To the left of that is Craigable Hill with its mast on the top of 2 lights. There's the radio transmitter on top of Dundee Law, navigational light. And just to the right of that is Wormwood Bay, the dark area where I was standing at. And from that point, as I say, it looked like there was lights on the monument on the top of Dundee Law. I've come up here, clearly there aren't any lights on the monument, and it was the illusion from the mast, Angus transmitter mast. When I started moving away from Wormwood, I noticed that these lights, where it appeared there was only 2 on the monument, then it appeared there was 3, 4, and then it dawned on me that it was an optical illusion. Because it is dark, you know, if it was during the day I would have noticed quite clearly that it was I would probably see the mast, the Angus transmitter mast from where I was at earlier. What is a bit odd though, there is another mast to the right of the Angus transmitter. There's another mast very much like it. I can't remember what it is it Maniki mast or something? I can't remember. I would have thought I would have seen it. It doesn't appear to be anywhere, and there's no way the lights would be off. So maybe that's a bit something that's quite unusual and just experiencing right now. Because just looking now and I can't seem to see it anywhere. Because there's 2 of these. There's the one at Craigable, which is that one, part of Sidlaw Hills. It's just to the east of Craigable. That's Craigable there. The mast on it, the tallest mast with the navigational lights. But I thought I would have seen it from here. I thought they were both visible. Because it's a tall structure that's like that. And at the mast at Douglaswood, you could clearly see it isn't lit up. I couldn't see it from the Law Hall, but that's the transmitter, the Forfar transmitter mast. And there's no lights on it, no navigational lights on it. But I was at the Law Hall and I couldn't see the mast. And that's the reason. I'm looking right at it, but there's no lights on it at all. So that's at the bottom. There's absolutely no lights on it whatsoever. So just for comparison, that's the Craigable one, the Angus transmitter mast. That's how it should be lit up, right? That's how it should be. Now I can just see in the outline of the sky, looking over to it, and there's not a single light on it. And it's roughly the same height. So there's about 152 metres, with Angus transmitters 229 metres tall. I guess that's above sea level or the structure. But put it this way, that mast, the Forfar one, Forfar transmitter mast as it's called now, it's no longer, it's about the same height but it's no longer lit up. But I find that very odd because navigational lights should be lit up all the time. It should be lit up like that, and it's a massive structure just like that. That's how it should be lit up. Very unusual that. And the road that I'm on is the B978.